Very good afternoon to all of you. I am very happy to share with you that today I am sitting with Dr. Jagriti, who has secured rank 5 in recently conducted NEET 2018 exam. I am repeating, rank 5 in NEET 2018 exam. Congratulations, Dr. Jagriti.
Thank
How
you,
are
sir.
you?
I'm feeling very good, sir.
So I remember when the ranks were announced and we discussed on phone. You were not in your state of like this feeling was not sinking in. So
Yeah.
it's been like 3-4 days. So has it sink in now?
Yeah, finally I can enjoy my happiness.
Okay, wow. Yeah, good. I'm sure that once you because the number were announced pretty early and after that there was a big gap.
Yes.
So you were pretty sure that you were scoring a very decent rank. But when you actually see a single digit rank in front of your
Yeah.
name, and then that feeling is amazing. Like I can totally relate to that particular feeling.
Exactly.
And once again, I will give you a very big congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
And just to inform our viewers, she is rank 5 NEET PG 2018 and as well as Karnataka rank 1. Dr. Jagriti was our exclusive regular batch student for 1 year in our Bangalore center. And the purpose of conducting this is just to tell you that how Jagriti has went through her preparation for this postgraduate entrance exam. So first of all, Jagriti, before starting, do you want to give your regards to anybody on your success?
Yes, actually, quite a few of people, and first, Almighty God, because if you have faith in God, you will have faith in yourself too. And obviously, my parents and my brother and sister in law, without whom I couldn't have gone through this 6 to 8 months, and obviously, the entire DBMCI team. Without their guidance and support, I'm very sure I wouldn't have been in this place today giving interview. Thank you very much to the entire DBMCI team and all my friends.
Well, thank you very much for that, Jagriti. But I believe that it is dependent on a particular student because for us, like it's our we try to give our best to the students, but it is totally dependent on a particular student that how he or she takes our advice. So moving on further, I'll just ask some specific questions for you from you that. Uh, you told us that you started your preparation after finishing your internship.
Yeah.
Okay, and you joined us our regular course. So tell me like what you did during your entire year, how the course helped you, what are the important thing that you did with the course, and so that you are able to achieve what you wanted in your life.
Yes, exactly. I started after internship, and exactly at that time, even the Bhatia classes started. And every week, whichever subject was done, I used to go back home, revise the notes first, and then add on, read from the other subject-wise guides if there are some points, then solve the MCQs, and again revise notes. And the main part is giving next week the subject-wise test to assess where you are, so that you know how much you have done in a subject. And this I followed almost for the whole 6 to 7 months to finish the course. Yes, every time you're not able to finish in those 1 week all the subjects, some major subjects do take time, that you need to adjust the time with the minor subjects I did.
Yes.
And first notes, then solving questions. The main thing what I concentrated in first 6 months was, while doing my notes, whatever extra points I find, I added in my notes, because at the last 1 month I didn't want many books to refer. So I wanted one book to have as a revision, and that it goes faster too. That's what I concentrated. First 6 months I did not try to memorize anything or learn anything proper by heart, nothing. Just build my notes very well with all and whatever doubts clear then and there from the professors. And 6 to 8 months went like that. Last 1-2 months I did revision.
Wow. So basically you were very regular with all the classes, and more important than that, you were regular with giving the test also.
Yes.
And friends, I'm sure that if you have attended our discussion sessions, this is what we always try to focus, that please be regular with the classes, please be regular with the notes, and please be regular with the test. If you are regular with these three things, I am sure that success will be yours. And here is the live example in front of you. She was very regular with all the classes. She was very regular with doing the MCQs, and she was very regular with the post class test. We in our classes, we tell this to the student that please make sure that you are doing that subject on the time. Jagriti, I remember I started your batch.
Yes,
So I was
yes.
the first, your first class
Yes,
by
yes.
radiology, and if I remember it correctly, so I told you about the importance of making a schedule there,
Exactly.
importance of sticking to the
Notes.
guidelines and the notes.
Yes.
So do you think that so I feel that most of the toppers follow the same. I did not tell anything new, but now you are also a topper. So what is your suggestion to your juniors that do they was that information helpful to you?
Very helpful. In fact, your first class was the first day of my, main inspiration, the first day of starting my studies. And the way you said to plan things and all, I just followed that. And you and all the staff, actually, they have a lot of experience and they have worked a lot to help us. So their information and their guidance how to do things is always right. Just trust them. You need to trust some things. Then only you can, follow it and achieve it. And yes, sir's class was the first. He even said how the arteries ka whole branches he made. I did that too. That's how we learn. And thank you for motivating me on that first day, which has got me here
Yeah.
today.
So I believe that that is one of the biggest role that an institute plays in getting the rank that a student deserve, is that guiding them with the right path on which they
Exactly.
can travel to reach to their dream destination or to reach to their dream goal. Okay, all right. So let's talk about an individual subject. Like how did you approach? Because one of the biggest point that I want to highlight here is that Jagriti, you attempted the NEET last year also,
Yeah, I
and
did.
what was your rank the last year?
It was 17,000,
And now
rank 5 all India.
17,000 to 5. Why I am specifying it here, like for the last few days since the result has announced, I am getting lot of messages, lot of calls from the students that sir, I have got 12,000 rank, I have got 14,000 rank, and I am not getting the branch that I wanted. And so what should I do? I don't think I am capable enough to get a rank that I want. So please friends, see, here is a live example. 1 year of dedicated preparation. Just give us your 1 year, and if you are focused, if you are determined, we will give you the rank on that particular part. The live example is in front of you. Nobody could have imagined 17,000 to 5. So now let's talk about her journey from 17,000 to 5 in that entire in a slightly more detail. Okay, so Jagriti, can you tell us slightly more detail about an individual subject, like how you approached an individual subject and how the institute notes? Now there are a lot of queries that we are getting with our students about the quantity, about the quality, and how you should make notes, whether you want this much content in a particular notes, or whether it should be concise, or what is your genuine advice to your junior students?
Yeah, this query is actually very genuine and very common to have. Even I had when I started with that. Like, why this much will help me, but it should be concise. Trust me, it should be concise. More the number of pages, lesser you will remember them. If you have in a concise, crisp manner, you will read them more number of times and you'll retain them better. And that you can do by, attending class. And it's not like everything should be covered. There are important things covered. You should build on them. And moreover, most important is you build a concept. You cannot just memorize and go. First, this time's NEET especially was a very balanced thing. They were not just facts, question or anything. It was a balanced thing of concepts and facts which you need to remember. For that, you need to have your concepts good. And you don't have your entire life to study for NEET PG. You have some 8 months or 8 to 10 months. That's all. In that, you should be smart enough to read what. And obviously, we all cannot have, like when we start, we don't know what it is. In that, your teachers, your professors, everyone will guide you. Their classes, you'll get to know which topic, which part is important, and then try to build on that.
Yeah.
That's what I tried doing.
Very well said. There is one more point, a very touchy point that I'll take here is nowadays we know that the competition has increased a lot, and I remember a week back I was taking a session with the students, and we were addressing students, and they were second year students, they were third year students, they were final year students, interns, and the
Yeah.
post interns. All were sitting. So we know that everybody starts preparation at a different level. So there were a lot of interns and the post interns who were asking this doubt with us, and that sir, you were talking about that you should start your preparation in the third year. I have not started it.
Hmm.
Okay, I have completed my internship, and I have not started my preparation, do I still have a chance to get a rank? So now your take on this particular part.
You it's always better to start as early as
Yes.
possible. Obviously agreed with that,
Yeah.
but it's never too late. It's never too late, trust me. You should just have the dedication, and you should just have a little guidance from someone, maybe any of your professors or anyone, and even 6 to 8 months, trust me, I have done it. 6 to 8 months of dedicated studies with a vision, with your dream. That's all. You can surely do it. It's never too late. And obviously, basics from your 4.5 years of theory knowledge will help you. That is there. That you on that only you're building new stones.
Yes.
That's why. So I think it's never too late, and it's never too early also.
Yeah, exactly. So what you said, if I'll just re-emphasize that, it's your determination and the dedication.
Exactly.
If you got that in second year, start in second year. If you got that in third year, start in third year. If you got that in internship, start in internship. And if you get after internship, do it after internship. So what matter is that whether you are determined to achieve your goal. If you are determined to achieve your goal will be in front of you. Okay. All right. So let's talk about individual subject. How did you approach that individual subject? So let's start with the first year subjects.
Okay.
How did you approach the first year subjects?
First year subjects, obviously, when we start after post-intern phase, you would have forgotten a lot of things.
Yes.
Initially, when you start, it will be a little bit difficult to, start recollecting, and those things haunting you that you don't know anything. But then, yeah, like for example, anatomy, Ashwini sir made anatomy very simple actually, and it was like nice to read through. Physio and Ashwini sir's notes were the only thing which I did in anatomy actually.
And
Beautifully
let's
done.
compare it
And,
with the number of questions. See, I believe that sometimes you get very direct questions in the exam, but sometimes you get a conceptual question in the exam which you can solve if your concept were very much cleared in your notes or in your class. So let's compare with that also with simultaneously
Okay.
with the class along with your preparation, and then with the NEET paper, that how it helped. Was it a very difficult subject for you in the NEET? Like, because in spite of getting a very very good rank, still I believe that like you scored 892 marks out of
Yeah,
1200.
obviously.
So that's approximately, I will say 70, approximately for the
72.
approximately 72 or 73%. So that 27% paper is still there. What
Yeah.
I always believe, what I always tell to the student, approximately 20 to 22% of the paper none of the student can do.
Yes.
So one should not be bothered about that particular
Exactly.
paper. But let's look at how you did that handle that subject and how difficult it was in the NEET paper. So if we can relate that, probably it will be very helpful for the students.
Okay.
So in anatomy, so do you think whatever that you have covered in the anatomy was sufficient for your NEET exam?
I would not say it was completely sufficient for
Complete
me,
is
because
nothing.
anatomy is a subject where even a small ligament or anything can be
Yeah.
asked from anywhere.
Exactly.
But at least maximum number of questions I was able to
You
do
was
it
able
from
to do
the knowledge which I built.
You were
through.
satisfied.
I was
with the-
satisfied with
very
it.
good. Okay.
Yeah,
The
and
second
coming to
subject?
physiology is a subject where you have to understand the concept. You have to. There cannot be a repeat same fact question.
Yeah.
You have to understand the concept, and it is very vast. Agreed, but everything is not that important. That you get to know when you do your notes. You will know. Like for example, renals is important, CVS is important. You know which part is important. Go in depth of a concept. Do not go over the how many facts do I
Just
know,
mugging
how
up
much
of
do
the
I
fact
know.
will not be helpful very
That's the
much,
only
yes.
thing which I tried avoiding in the first 6 to 8 months. Because if you know your concepts, you can do not only NEET, any AIMS, PJ, all the exams you can crack. So
Okay.
concepts you need to build, and last 1-2 months you can. While I was preparing in the first 6 months, whichever things I knew that I have to mug it later, I used to write in the sticky notes or make a separate notepad, which I could revise even later on. So I was never bothered about
So
that.
basically, you also did the same thing. You separated concept from the facts.
I did.
And initially, you were focusing on the concept, and
Yeah.
in the revision part, you were focusing
Yeah,
on the
because-
facts. Very
yeah.
good. Yeah, that is the standard preparation that one should focus, because once you know a particular concept, we know that this concept is gonna stay with you
Stay with
for a longer time. Whereas facts are always forgettable. So if you're gonna remember even a fact in January, you're bound to gonna forget by the month of April or by the month of
True.
May. So it is better to remember or to mug up for the fact
Yeah.
slightly later. Okay. Let's move to the second year subjects. How did you manage the second year subject, because they are very vast?
Yeah,
So how
they
did
are
you
very
manage them?
vast again. Again, for me, main concentration was notes, because this period was a little less for me to finish everything. Patho, again, I did only notes, and plus images from Robbins or whatever. You really need to see them, because they will not ask what is already asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, they will not ask anything very rare things also. Basic thing, whatever you're studying, see in Robbins, or more than Robbins, I would say Google is the best thing. Immediately I used to Google, so that even my theory knowledge will stay like better. So like that I used to prepare for patho.
Okay.
Then coming to microbiology, yes, again notes, Shivika ma'am's notes. She did really well, and micro is a subject where you need revisions. And people think bacteriology is important, or just parasitology is important, but no. This aims we had more from virology.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to do everything. Even not only micro different parts, but I would say all 19 subjects generally, you cannot leave even single subject. You need to touch everything.
Yeah, so that is what they do. They keep on changing the
Changing
pattern. You
the
cannot
pattern.
always
You
be
cannot
sure
be-
that this thing
Yeah,
will be
yeah.
asked. So ultimately, we know that there are some topics which are more important. There are some topics which are less important. But ultimately, you have to cover the subject as a whole. Okay, third year.
Third year, Oftal, ENT and all were fine. Like notes were enough, and some questions which they ask you'll anyways not know, so notes were fine. And PSM, yeah, PSM is a very vast subject again. You don't need to complete everything. There are some epidemiology, biostats. You need to build on concepts, which ma'am actually laid a very good foundation for us for the concepts, which you can practice on later. And in the last month, you really don't need to read everything in the book.
Yeah.
You cannot finish the whole book. Whatever the new updates, just go through them. That's more than enough.
Final year. Let's come to the final year.
The
So
final year is
we'll
very
divide it
vast.
into two ways: long subjects and short subjects.
Okay, starting with
So medicine and surgery, the biggest one.
okay, medicine again. I was the main follower of Tamim sir's notes. I did not even practice MCQs to admit,
Okay.
because I did not have time. I wanted
Okay.
to. And medicine, I thought my concepts were already strong from my years, and so notes were helpful to differentiate how to do. So medicine, I did only notes. Then surgery, yeah, Jay Arora sir's notes were again the protocols and all which he gave good, and MCQs. That's all.
Short subjects.
Short subjects, Dermat, Manish sir did really well Dermat. And yeah, immediately Google images, save them, make a separate file, because that's what they ask, Dermat and all. So you have to relate with it. You can't just read theory unless you relate it to the images. Dermat and radiology obviously was good, and your book, I did that. And next, psychiatry. Psychiatry is again like you don't need a lot of number of days, 1 or 2 days, but you need to understand once. You need to understand very well. If you understand it well, one day or 2 days, that's more than enough. Then psychiatry, dermat, anesthesia.
Anesthesia
Again,
is again.
anesthesia again. I just did notes
Wow.
again. So
Good.
that's what.
I mean, that is how your approach would.
Yeah.
And what is your suggestion about, like you said, post-class test? One is about the grand test. How regular you were with the grand test?
I have given every grand test and every subject-wise test. I've given all of them. Yeah, like subject-wise test, just to know what I've done in the last week, and grand test every month I need to compare. I'm going ahead or I'm deteriorating. That was the main thing. And every grand test you give, you need to strategize yourself. You know how much time you take, mainly time management. I was very slow. I was more feared of finishing things on time. So you need to plan your time management, how many questions to attempt, and how your mind can focus for 3 hours. It's important for that, plus getting exposure to the questions. For example, if you don't have time to practice all the MCQs, you can read your notes and do a little bit of theory and give all the tests. That would be more than enough for the MCQ exposure.
And it removes your fear also
It removes the fear.
about the exam.
It really does.
Okay. What about the vibe session? Have
Vibes-
you attended the vibe
Yeah,
session?
I did attend the vibe session. It overall it gave me an outlook how to approach the images, how to see, and moreover it was like a revision also for the previous things which we have done. So it was good.
Probably in this year NEET exam there were not too many image-based
Not too
questions,
yeah.
but I feel that whatever image-based questions were there were most of the
Yeah.
questions we tried to cover even in the vibe
Yeah,
session.
most of the
questions
things
will
were
be-
covered.
were there. Okay. Coming to the exam, about the NEET exam on the final day of the exam. So a very common question that I'm getting from the students is, how many questions have you attempted?
Okay.
So how many questions have you attempted?
I attempted 293.
293. So weren't you scared in attempting such a big number considering the negative marks? Because this question keeps on coming back to me again and again, that how many questions one should attempt considering the negatives are 1/4 negative marking.
I never actually planned how many I need to attempt. I was like, I'll just go on. Whichever I know, even I have a little idea about, I have to attempt. That's what. I wanted to attend maximum number. Yeah, I did start getting scared when it started reaching 280, 290. I was like, I'll be hit by the negative marking. But it was like worth the risk. That's all. If you want to get more, it's +4 and -1. If you get right, see, if you use only for a few questions, you are like, I'll take a risk, and not for the other few, then it will be a mismatch.
You're quoting my statement from the, from the class.
Yeah, exactly. You have to use it. If you want to take a risk, take for all the questions.
Exactly.
Then at least a percentage of it will be right, and you'll score better.
So this is what I always tell to the students, that those students who think that they did not get the rank that they deserve, it is because of the more negative. It is not because of the more negative. It is because of the less positive. It is because of, obviously if your attempt is less, the number of positive will be less. So one should always have, if you want to score a very good rank, should have a very, very high attempt. At least the attempt should be 280. At least it should be 280. If it is less than 280, then you will definitely not get the rank that you actually deserve, and that you actually, yes, sometimes there are questions which are like beyond your imagination, that from where the question has been asked. Yes, you
Such
can
questions
leave.
you need to leave.
Yeah, you can leave those questions, but that should not be more than 15 to 20 in a particular exam. So keeping a good attempt, being regular with your subjects, it is not necessary that you are starting very early. It is not necessary that you have to make 2000 pages notes. Notes should be in a way which you should be able to revise, because at the end of the day, it is your recall at the time of exam that will matter. We are talking to the toppers, and we are talking to the rankers, and every ranker has this thing in common, that they have read lot of things, but what matters at the time of the exam is that how much you are able to recall. Okay, so this is a very, very important message that we are also getting from here. And let's another talk about the foundation years, that sometimes students join the institutes in the second year and third year, and they are not very serious, and they join it out of compulsion, that their friends are joining, so they have to join it. But later on, by the internship, they realize that they joined it just for the peer pressure, and they did not make use of it, and they were not very useful. What is your take on this part? Then even if after that, if you start preparation, will it be helpful?
Yeah, it will be. If you have joined in foundation years, it's good, but you make use of it. Read those notes when you're reading your theory. I'm not telling just read your notes, because of those first 4 years of your MBBS are to build your concepts, the core concepts which you have. You cannot just read notes, but you will know what is important from then, that part itself. But in case you haven't done it, it's okay. It's not late.
Now, why I have asked you this question is because many times the students come to us. They say, sir, we joined such and such institute in the foundation year, but we just joined it because our friends wanted that we should join, and we were not serious, and we just finished it somehow. We attended 4 classes and we did not study at all. Then our internship was very hectic. Now we have finished and the internship, and now we want to prepare for the PG, but we feel that now we have not completed that course. So will I be able to do that?
That was my feeling when I started doing, when I started my preparations. How will I be able to do it?
Yeah. So that is the reason that I want you to tell to your to your juniors, to your friends, that if you have not done well during your MBBS, that's not the end of the world. You have to be focused, you have to be determined, and once you are determined, you will be able to crack it even with the 7 or 8 month of preparation. This will be more than sufficient. Okay. Anything other? Any special Though you have spoken a lot about the all the subjects, but any special faculty, any special name that you want to mention to our students or to
Tamim sir, medicine, like amazing, and ECG, everything he made very easy. Things Tamim sir and Rajat sir for radiology, Ashwini sir for anatomy, Jay Arora sir, Shivika ma'am. It's endless list. I cannot, tell one, but all these professors, everyone has helped quite a lot. Like.
Okay. So overall, you are quite satisfied,
Yeah.
and you think that. So I believe again, I'll say that it is dependent on individual student, but overall, your journey with us was very, very fruitful, and you
Very
have
much.
seen as the result, and we are very happy to share with you. I just want to again emphasize, or again want to tell to our students that I'm sitting with Dr. Jagriti, who was our regular batch student at Bangalore, and she was she has secured rank 5 in NEET PG 2018 along with rank 1 Karnataka. Okay. Once again, congratulations, Jagriti.
Thank you, sir.
Wish you all the best,
Thank
and
you.
do let us know if I can be of any help to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank
All
you
right.
so
Thank
much.
you very much, friends.
Thank you.